Hello to all of our wonderful listeners out there. I am Murtaza,
And I'm Raza.
and you're listening to the 2.5 Brain Cells podcast, episode 2.
Now, in this episode, we're going to be talking on some topics that we feel are very relevant right now and some that are just for fun. So, let's start off with gaming because everyone's bored. They love
Yeah,
to.
everyone's been bored for a while, almost a year now.
Yeah, it's going to be a year in March, I believe. Yeah, March 15th. March 14th. Yeah.
And what better way to spend your time than some video games?
Yeah, no, definitely. Video games are, in my opinion, the best pastime.
They are pretty fun. You have so much variety. You can play alone, you can play with friends, you can play with randoms.
Yeah, you can go solo. Yeah, you can go pro if you really
You can
wanna.
go pro, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
and gaming is becoming one of, if not the biggest entertainment industries out there. So you definitely could make a proper living from playing video games. Let's see. Are you a big gamer?
not exactly.
Would you want to elaborate? Like, I don't know. Do you play any video games? Since you said it was your favorite pastime.
I don't want to paint myself in a bad light, but yeah, sure. So I used to play. I've been into gaming a lot since I was in about the 6th grade. Now,
Now
one
you're
of my
old.
favorite. Yeah, now I'm old. Now I am old, or however. Okay, you see here, guys. Okay, so he likes to paint me out to be the old guy, although he's only like a few years younger than me. So we're just gonna
Yeah, I mean,
let's
a few years is a long time.
2 3 years. What? Okay,
It's
if
like a
I was
quarter of
like
my life, possibly.
not
No,
not even
a
no
fifth
no
of my life?
not even not okay.
Something like
Now
that.
he's exaggerating. We're gonna
My
leave it
math
at
isn't the
that.
greatest.
Yeah, clearly. Anyway, so I used to play this free to play online game, and that was what I really started off with. And I still play it on and off today, but ever since I've been able to get into proper gaming, I built a PC. I now play Call of Duty because my friends play it. That's mostly it.
Oh, but
So
you're a PC gamer.
I am indeed a PC gamer, yes.
And you got into gaming late, in like what? You said grade 6, right?
Yeah, I didn't start off. I was deterred from games a lot. I used to play like just free to play games, and yeah,
Nice.
on and off for a few years, and then I started playing a lot more in high school again, and
Okay.
then I stopped towards the end, and then now I'm getting back into it now that I'm almost done college or university.
That's good. I mean, you don't spend a lot of time on it because you're focusing on different things, which I understand.
Yeah, I try to balance stuff out. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, no, continue.
Yeah, no, I try to balance stuff out in terms of my my game time as well as my personal projects time. I try to convince myself that I shouldn't be gaming all the time. It's more like guilt tripping. So as you get older, you worry a lot more about making revenue, making money, as everyone does probably. Yeah, I guess that's why streaming is popular as well because people are they looked for a way to monetize that time being used to play. You could entertain people, you could grow a following. That's a big thing people do nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, entertaining is definitely a goal. I think that's what we're trying to do with this show as well, this podcast.
Yeah. Trying to start a conversation, give our views, give our opinions. So I guess we're gonna move on towards the bulk of the conversation. The supply and demand of PC and consoles. So
So
what
I
are your
think,
thoughts on that? Sorry, my bad. Go on.
yeah, no worries. Okay, so I've been gaming for a very long time since I was very little. I used to play on my cousin's PS2 all the time. Then I got a Wii, then a PS3, and then when it came out, the PS4. And I haven't been able to get my hands on a PS5 yet. As of recording this, like today is January 19th of 2021, guys. the PS5 came out in November of 2020. It's been a good 3 months. 2 months. It's been a good 2 months.
I'm gonna call you out here, but we've talked about this before, and he's told me that he plans to wait for a
Yeah,
better
I do plan
time
on
to buy
waiting.
this.
I do plan on waiting. I'm gonna let my second semester finish, which is like it finishes end of April. So probably gonna get it end of April, beginning of May, if it's in stock. But the thing is, it's already been 2 months, and every time it comes into stock at any store, any retailer, like anybody tries to go on it, and within minutes, the whole stock is gone, which is insane to me.
I'll give all you people out there chasing these consoles and these rare in demand graphics card pro tip. The best way to be able to find these stock drops are to, in my opinion, to look at Discord bots that consistently monitor them. Unless you're like a fanatic and you're either always on your phone, PC, laptop, whatever. A very good tip I found one day was that if you use an app called Distill Web Monitor, you can basically monitor a web page, and as soon as there's a change, this app or this program basically just checks and consistently pings this web page for any changes. For like if the add to cart button becomes from coming soon, it becomes add to cart, it will instantly ping you. Now obviously it's everything's paid for, so if you obviously give them money and you buy one of their like monthly plans, you'll get the best support and you'll be able to get it as soon as it goes in stock. They'll like send you a Discord notification, they'll probably call you, text message you as soon as it's in stock, and then you can go ahead and buy it. That's probably the best way to do it. But the other way is to just use a Discord bot without having to pay anything. That I found that to be very good as well. Now, there's some that are better than others, but I would say that that's the go-to way.
That's cool. I never knew that. I've never actually really used any of those services. I'm just hoping my luck is good enough to, to be able to pick one up once my
I
semester is
believe
done.
oh sorry. I believe that you should make your own luck sometimes as well because it's definitely very difficult. I'll just
Oh,
give a
now we're
spoiler.
becoming philosophical, huh?
No, we're not becoming
Create your
uh,
own luck. Be
create
your
your own.
own hero.
Be the champion. Don't listen to others. Let's go.
If you're
Nah,
not
I'm
winning, you're losing.
well, yes and no
Sorry,
to
continue.
that,
What were you,
but
what were you
yeah,
saying about?
my my point here is um as much as he wants to say that there is no they do sell it very quickly. Now um so, oh yeah, I can also speak a little bit more on this, Murtaza. So, I've read an article a little while ago. I don't know if it applies to PS5s. It probably will, or PS5s or Xbox. It probably will eventually. But for graphics cards in particular, there have been some price hikes because there was a deal that the US companies which make all these aftermarket cards like Asus, Gigabyte, ASRock,
Are
Zotac,
those
etc. Those are
are they
manufacturers.
American?
Yeah, they're American predominantly. They all buy their silicon, their PCBs from China. And Trump had a deal in place in one of these tariff wars started back in 2018. They had a deal in place to not increase the prices on GPUs and PC components in particular until the end of 2020. Now that 2020 has ended, the prices of those said graphics cards are experiencing anywhere between a 7% to a 25% tariff increase, meaning those costs
25%?
25%, meaning those costs are being passed down to us, the consumers. So on top of
Nice.
scalpers, on top of limited availability, you now have to fork over more of your hard-earned coin to be able to get that shiny new graphics card that you want to get those high FPS numbers. So yeah, 2021 is great and all, but it's a mixed bag clearly.
It's much it
Yeah,
sounds like a more expensive year.
it's probably going to be a more expensive year, that's for sure. One more thing.
Mhm.
About the PS5 stock, like you were saying. So yeah, you are right to say that they go pretty quickly. They are coming in stock here and there. Let me see when the last drop was. I'm just gonna
The
look
last
for
drop was
the.
a couple days ago. Like all these companies, EB Games, or in America it's called GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, they all tweet a couple days before it comes in stock. They're like, "Oh yeah, at this time it's gonna be in stock on our website," but it's nearly impossible to get it.
Um, it's not nearly impossible. There was a very large drop the earlier. You are right, but they do go very quickly. That is also very true. So
Like in my experience, it's not easy to get them. Same things with Xbox. Like this time around, the Xbox, they have two editions out. They vary in price by about, I think, $200, and the PS5 lands smack dab in the middle of that. So, I mean, they're all good, but at this point, I don't think it makes sense to get an Xbox
it just
because
depends on how desperate you are, I guess. Ooh, there actually was a drop today at Walmart,
it's
and
essentially
it's out of
just a
stock.
gaming PC.
Yeah, some people prefer a console just because you're not going to be using all the time. People's opinions on PC differ because people use PC for work, play, or whatever they want to do it with. You can do a lot more with PC, and there's more optimizations available. But that's my 2 cents. Yeah, okay, for whatever reason, I can't find exactly how many dropped, but I think there
They
was
they will You'll
like.
never find it. They won't say how many there are.
Oh, no, 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 I know how many they drop. It's for my Discord. You can just check the HTML and then it'll tell you how much is available from the website directly.
Oh
Telling you,
damn,
just
really?
yeah, Discord bots are next level these days.
Yo, I'm gonna need you to get me that information at the end of the semester.
I'll keep you posted because I think you're the only one that I did message my other friend about it that there was a drop and if his boys wanted to buy one. Now was the time. And he said that not all of them wanted to buy one. Ah, here we go. I found it. So I think no, this is from last year. What? There was another drop earlier. I just don't think
There was a drop
they've.
like last week.
Yeah, I know. I just can't for whatever reason. I can't find they organize it bad over here. I'm looking at drops from back in 2020 right now. Let's not stretch this out. Basically, there was a lot that dropped recently. A lot more of the peripherals have been coming into stock. Like Staples had a drop of like 1,000 items of each, like their dual charging stations and their headsets. They had a
Oh,
thousand each
nice.
drop the other day on the 17th.
I honestly don't
And
know a lot of people that buy those though.
some people do. I guess it's just to have the whole experience. Ah, here we go. I found it. You're yeah. So the last drop was on the 14th, which was on Thursday,
5 days
last
ago.
Thursday. Yep. So, pro tip, this is more for you, more less to the audience. They always either this bot is just slow or the digital edition just goes like
Oh
people
yeah,
are on
digital
that.
edition is what most people want because it's cheaper.
It is cheaper and it does the same stuff, and you don't have to go anywhere, and you're not gonna go to buy games anyway. Some people prefer the disc. But yeah, whenever I see this bot, there's always less of the digital edition, and I assume that they have equal stock coming in. It's just that the digital edition people just like go bzz, like people zap it out. So for context, when I got this ping, there were 233 digital editions, and do you want to guess how many of the one with the disc player had?
How many?
Over
3,
6,000.
400? Holy shit. They're also sold
6,500.
out though.
Yep, that's the thing. So even if they drop like 1,000 to like 3,000 at once, expect those to be gone within about 10 to 15 minutes tops. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. It all just depends on supply and demand, right?
I'm gonna see if I
Anyway,
can cop one though.
yeah. I will whenever the next drop happens around May or whatever, if it's not widely available, which I'll be surprised because I'm hoping with improving conditions that it will be, but who knows? Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the stock of the PS5, and yeah, RTX 3000 series, as everyone knows, the creme of the crop for PC
Mhm.
gamers. You
Yeah.
can much better than Nvidia's, not much better than my bad, much better than AMD's
Yeah.
6000 series.
Yeah, like
uh,
NVIDIA making it better than NVIDIA.
I mean, they did do that. The 2000 series that they did a lot. They've went ahead to buy a lot more, and they've reduced the price on the SKUs. The
Yeah, I mean,
that
at
that
this point, they're just one-upping themselves.
Basically, and they basically did that by going away from TSMC, which is the card manufacturer, and they went to Samsung with for their 8 nanometer process. So they're killing it. But yeah, as you know, with if you got the money to float, and the most common ones that always come into stock are the 3090s. So if you got if you got 2 grand lying around and you're willing to drop it, then that's probably the move.
Yeah, no, I'm a broke college student, so that's a no for me.
Definitely no from me still. I'm still waiting. They've announced an update on the 3000 series that they have announced the 3060, the non-TI version, and it'll be releasing in late February. I'm gonna try my luck for that one. I've been trying for the 3060 Ti, but they haven't had one drop for that since December, and I missed the drop by like 10 minutes. So
Nice.
sad. Yeah, I was
So
very
close
sad
yet
that day.
so far away.
Basically, yeah, the drop ended in about 10 minutes and they were all gone, and I saw it 10 minutes later because I was literally doing nothing and I was just sad that I missed it. But anyway,
Hey,
moving
you'll
on.
get him. You'll get him sooner or later.
Yep, yep. Anyway,
Speaking of so far, sorry. Speaking of so close yet so far away, tomorrow is the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden.
indeed. Oh, sorry, I'm just one more on the Best Buy Xbox thing. Uh there's just been 3 that came into stock on Best Buy.
Or Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox, the Series
No,
S.
no, no. We're not Xbox fam here.
Right.
PlayStation.
All
Grew up on
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Gonna raise the next generation on PlayStation.
Damn. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so
All
we're gonna get
PlayStation all the time.
moving
Yeah,
on
if
from
someone from
gaming.
PlayStation is listening, we'd love to get sponsored by PlayStation. That would be amazing.
Someone from Nvidia want to send me a 3090. I would love you to bits. I would also do a review on this podcast, probably make a video as well. So the
Yeah, we'll
emails
review it
open.
on the podcast.
Emails open.
Email is 2hbcpod@gmail.com.
And you can reach us there for any inquiries you may have.
Yeah,
But
anybody
moving
can
on,
reach us there.
yeah, anybody can reach us there. And not just Nvidia, not just PlayStation, but anybody that wants to reach out, we're more than happy. Uh, so we're moving on to the Capitol Hill riots, no? Or are we gonna?
I think let's talk about the inauguration first, you know?
Cool, cool. All right.
Um, tomorrow, Wednesday, January 20th, which I think is gonna be the day before this episode releases. So when you're listening to this episode, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will already have been sworn into office.
When is the inauguration?
Inauguration is tomorrow,
But
and our
what
episode goes
time?
up on Thursday.
I want to know
Probably
time
like
just for context.
midday.
Yeah, not exactly sure. I think they're inaugurated around noon, but yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around midday. And Trump has already stated that he's not going to be at the inauguration, which I think hasn't happened in over 100 years or something, where the former president wasn't there.
Yeah, it's never happened before, and it's actually going to be quite sad. As we were saying, tomorrow is inauguration day where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden will be sworn in, and when they are, by the time you listen to this podcast, they will have already been sworn in. So let's just hope that tomorrow goes smoothly for the US.
Yeah, let's hope. Hoping is all we can do as people in the international community. As at least the two of us, we don't live in the U.S., so whatever happens will probably affect us the same way that it affects the rest of the world, which is like an
Yeah.
indirect effect.
Yeah, we won't be directly affected like Americans are.
Yeah, but hey, we hope for the best. We wish
Mm.
you guys all the best. If any of you are listening in America, or if you have family and friends in America, wish
Yep.
you all the best. But by the time you're listening to this podcast, it'll be Thursday, the day right after the inauguration. We upload our podcast every Thursday on the Thursday. I was gonna say every Thursday on the hour, but we don't have a set upload time just yet. So every Thursday, on the Thursdays when we upload our podcast, it is available on our link tree, which is linktr.ee/2hbcpod. That has the link to our Instagram, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Radio Public, and Anchor Podcasts. You can listen on their site, but they are our distributing partner.
Yep, and we are just being a little bit more. We're being cautious with our words just because of, as you know, we say everything will go well tomorrow because of what happened earlier in the month when
The
the
6th
Senate
of
was
January.
when the 6th of January. Yeah, there you go. That's the day I was looking for. On the 6th of January, when the Senate was um basically not correcting the votes, they were going through the official vote certification process, and they were just finalizing things for Biden to be sworn in. You had Trump supporters storm the Capitol, and they broke windows. They came inside, and
They stole
well, from
stuff,
they stole stuff. They went into Nancy Pelosi's office. Some guy
stole her
put his
laptop.
stole her laptop. Some guy put his feet up on her desk. So a lot of stuff happened on that day, and well, we're just hoping that Biden is sworn in safely and that Trump can pack his things and leave, essentially. And as of consequence, Trump has been accused, more so rightly accused, of antagonizing his supporters to try and raid the Capitol, as they say. So they believe that the vote is false and
Rigged.
that Trump had won. But we'll leave that at that. People can have their opinions. We're not going to talk about who's right, who's wrong.
No,
Um,
let's talk about who's right, who's wrong, just for a little bit. Raiding Capitol Hill and raiding the Senate like that, but also stealing stuff and breaking stuff, those are criminal acts.
by
It's the
definition,
first
yes,
time, by definition, they are criminal acts. It is the first time that Capitol Hill has been invaded since the War of 1812. So take that in. It's been over 200 years, or it had been over 200 years since Capitol Hill had been broken into.
indeed. I would also like to add a little bit of clarification. The reason it makes out to be so bad is because people recognize this as a failed coup attempt. Now, how accurate that is I haven't looked into too much, but from what I can tell, if Trump had the intent, he did. He didn't explicitly say that he wanted this to be done, but he definitely spurred people on to come together and try to overthrow. Now it's failed because well, people were killed and they were prevented from just going all out. The Senate leaders, the Senate members, the people in the Democratic and the Republican parties, they both had to evacuate into their chambers, and they were safe. Thankfully, none of them died. But as a consequence of these people raiding their offices, people were killed, and it's a very sad situation. Back over to you.
Uh, yeah, no, I think you summed it up perfectly.
Right,
I
right.
honestly don't have a lot more to say on it.
Yeah, so those are our opinions on the Capitol Hill riots. Now, um, again, these are
We'd
our
love to hear
interpretations.
yours.
We'd love to hear yours. So if you have anything, any comments, please leave a review on Anchor, Spotify. That would help us a lot.
Pocket
Even
casts,
Pocket Cast, Breaker, any medium that you guys use to listen to this podcast. If you could leave us a review, we'd really appreciate it.
or if you're
And
listening with, I don't know, if you're not subscribed to any of these services, or if you don't have an account on them, make sure to comment on our Instagram posts. Let us know what you think. Um, we'll be sure to reply back to you, hopefully.
Yeah, get a conversation going on Instagram or Twitter. Or do we have a Twitter? I'm not entirely too sure we have a Twitter yet.
We will have a Twitter by the time this episode goes up, so follow us on Twitter at 2HBCPod.
Yeah, follow us there, and you'll also get notifications about when we have a new episode out. So it's a great way to also get in the loop. Um, yeah. So moving on from that, those are the events that happened on Capitol Hill, and for that reason, people are very, very scared about tomorrow because I've listened in on news here and there that they are now preventing any person that comes into Washington D.C. to anybody that flies in, if they're a federal or their government, they're allowed federal government or police level, they're allowed to have guns, but or guns or firearms. But if anybody is carrying a gun and they go on a flight tracking with Capitol Hill, they're being turned away and they're getting their weapons confiscated, likely if they do plan on going through anyway. A and B, people, and there's military officers in Capitol Hill as of right now to make sure that Biden is sworn in safely and securely. Now, again, both Biden and Trump are both older, so everyone's just worrying about the safety of the president and obviously Kamala Harris as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of tension going around as to the events tomorrow, and today is officially Trump's last day in office until he can run again in 2024. Now, the news is that the Senate has gone for the 25th Amendment against the president. So once he's out of office tomorrow, in the coming few months, there will be trials and hearings. They've appealed the 25th, and I can't really say too much on the 25th Amendment. I can probably Google it, but I'm just going to go off the cuff. He As far as I know, he's going to be tried in a court of law, and if they find that he did in fact try and um, skew, if they do find that if he
Tried to
ended
mess
up,
with the election or anything? Or
yeah, my
colluding with the
bad.
Russians?
The colluding with
Pretty much
Russians,
any of
colluding with the Russians, that's already been proven, but he
pretty
has
much,
been.
like, a lot of any of the crimes that he's been accused of.
The biggest thing from the Capitol Day riots that Facebook and all these tech companies took was that they banned him off of Twitter. So Twitter locked his account for 1 day after the Capitol Hill riots, and then they gave him another chance. And the two tweets that he tweeted out immediately after he came back online, he appealed the decision, and they were able to get him back onto Twitter. He just basically spurred on the mobs more, and he just kept giving false information. So Twitter took the ban hammer and they permanently banned his Twitter account. So the president, not his POTUS account, that's the president of the United States account.
Yeah,
That
but
one goes
they can't
to
really ban
his
it because
personal.
that one's gonna be transferred to Biden.
Yeah, so that one goes to each new president as times change. So that one isn't really banned, but his personal account that he tweeted all these mob tweets from, he's been permanently banned off of there. And then that was like a wave. Immediately after he went off of Twitter, Facebook started limiting him. His Twitch channel got taken down, and yes, he did have a Twitch channel.
Okay.
Apparently,
I
that's a
did not
thing.
know that.
Neither did I.
And apparently
Apparently,
he got banned from TikTok,
TikTok, Reddit,
YouTube and
Twitch,
Facebook,
YouTube, and
from what I
Facebook as well.
heard.
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook, I heard they only gave him, like, a week ban, 1 week, and he's able to post now.
Yeah, they
I
limited
don't
his
know how
posts
long that's gonna
immediately
last, though.
after. Yeah, and before we go too deep into this, this goes more into um people question as to why he wasn't banned ages ago when he was doing all this bad press. I mean, people didn't like him a lot. He was spreading fake news before the election happened, obviously. So people question as to why they just didn't ban him right away. Now, this goes into more so what is right and what is wrong and democratic free speech. So that's likely why Twitter, Facebook didn't want to just go ahead and pull this type of advertising, because he is still the president and he still holds power. So they wanted to respect that to some extent. And for that reason, I believe that's the reason why they didn't ban him. And I've seen some indications of that is true. They just didn't want to to go ahead and start doing this because it would paint them in a bad light and give them bad press. Now, in an era where Trump was still ruling, so this was as of 2019, before the election happened, that's when these fake news and all his misinformation and all et cetera, he tried to skew the election in his favor by using all these tactics. Obviously, it didn't work, but the reason they didn't ban him was because they wanted to preserve. He still held that power, but now that Trump is heading out, he no longer holds the same level of power, obviously, and he won't even if he is tried and if he is basically if he's tried in a court of law and he is has the 25th if it's rectified by the Senate, he will not be able to run for president in 2024. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Very nice. That is
Yeah.
that is actually
So
very, I mean, it's interesting. I hadn't heard that before.
yeah. So those are the news I have on Inauguration Day and all the cause and effect scenarios that I've been listening into. But as you can tell, the US is very messy and they've been messy for the past 4 years.
They've been
5
messy,
years.
you're right.
Yeah. 4 years. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I have to say.
Cool.
All right then.
And do you wanna end on that note, or you have anything else to talk about?
I don't got much more else to talk about.
Actually,
This is what else you got?
I do got something. Let's on a much lighter note. I recently watched this movie. It's called Guns Akimbo. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have not.
I think I
I've
sent
watched
you a
the trailer.
trailer
Yeah, I watched the trailer, but I don't.
starring Daniel Radcliffe. I've been a fan of him since his Harry Potter days. This is absolutely nothing like Harry Potter. It's quite funny. It's a very comedic movie. It's very action packed. Don't watch it with the family.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's for all
It's
audiences.
Yeah, it's not for all audience. It's definitely for a mature audience. There's not really sexual themes in it, or like close to no sexual themes, but there's a lot of gore, a lot of swearing. There's a crackhead in there,
Hmm.
homeless crackhead guy. Really funny. He stole the show. Absolutely loved the character. But not for the family. It's just one of those movies that like you can watch and you could talk over it. You can just relax while watching it. It's not very serious. It doesn't take itself very seriously. Have you seen Tenet?
I have not. No. What's that about?
So it's Christopher Nolan's latest movie. It's a sci-fi thing. It's about like this these people, they have the ability to go back in time, but not back in time, like they go in reverse time. So like they start off at one point and then they're moving properly, I guess, but it's a very trippy movie. I don't really know how to explain the context of it, but it's like if you don't watch it very closely and like if you're not paying super close attention, you'll miss a lot of the stuff and you won't understand the movie. Whereas like Guns Akimbo, you sit there, you relax, you talk with your friends, you're all having fun, and like, you know, even if you're not paying attention to every aspect of the movie, you're still able to enjoy it.
Hmm. I mean, I watched the trailer for Guns Akimbo. It seems really interesting. It does seem more like a get out of the boring the brief interpretation I have of the movie is there's a guy, he's kind of a loser, he's living by himself, doesn't have much to do with his life, and then all of a sudden um he has a series of events that happen which he can't control and he has to now adapt and make the best of it.
Yeah, so the movie revolves around this organization or this thing called Schism. And Schism is this like it's a live event. Um, presumably run off the dark web. And what they do is they usually take criminals and just generally not so good people, um, and they make them fight each other to the death. So they'll take like two criminals and they'll make them fight each other to the death. And they're being followed by drones and stuff. So they have thousands of people watching live. And they have this one champion or like this person who's very good at what she does. Her name is Nyx. And then we have Daniel Radcliffe's character who, as you correctly stated, he is a loser. Um, he lives alone, not very content with life, but he likes being an I'm just gonna say the beginning of the movie because it really is like I feel like it'll hook you or other listeners into it. He starts like beefing with people online for no reason other than he's bored and drunk. And then Schism warns him first, like, "Stop it or we'll come after you." He doesn't believe that it's actually them. He continues it, and then they break into his house and they bolt guns onto his hands,
Yeah.
like, with power tools and stuff, so they're physically attached to his hands.
Yeah, it looked very extreme, and I was like, "Wait." I thought he could just pull them out. I was kinda surprised they just beat him in, and then they're like, "Yeah, let's."
Oh, yeah, no,
That
no, they're physically attached.
damn, yeah, that was a little bit extreme for me. I was like, "Holy, okay."
But hey, it's a good, watch. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. It looks like a good movie overall, I'm not gonna lie. What are these? Hmm.
What or what?
Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to help a friend out with something. He's asking me a question. PC stuff. So I'm just reassuring him that he.
Damn, PC stuff. I see. I see how it
Yeah.
is.
No, I'm sorry. People reach out to I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but ever since I basically built my PC, and then 3/4 of my close friends also decided that now was the time. I guess they were just didn't wanna splurge and then be called out for it because PC gaming had a very bad rep amongst console gamers, and a lot of these guys were console gamers. But then I told them like, "Hey, there's better specs, you get your more bang for your buck, you can use them for literally whatever." And I think they saw the light. But because I like for 6 months basically just learned as much as I could about like different components, like the intricacies of them. I basically became like an addict, and I just did a lot of research about it. It's anyone can do it. I just know a lot of like random like intricacies behind that. So yeah, my
Nice,
bad for not
nice, nice,
pay
nice.
attention to your movie talk, but
That's fine.
we should probably make this a segment, like, discuss a movie we both either watch or, like, a trailer.
A weekly
Just
movie. Yo, that's dope. A weekly movie review. I
weekly
like
movie
it.
review might be decent, yeah, just watch a movie in your own time or, like, one that you recommend, and then we'll have some talking points.
Yeah, if you
Or
guys
one
have any movie recommendations, definitely send them our way.
or series recommendations, we can also talk about what's good, what's not good.
Yeah, series recommendations also work. Or YouTube video recommendations. Basically, any recommendations you guys have for us to watch.
Yep. I think that's about it for this week's podcast, no?
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for listening. This has been episode 2 of the 2.5 Brain Cells podcast with your hosts, Murtaza and
My name is Raza, and I'm your second host, and we will catch you on the next episode, which would be
next week. We upload every Thursday on the Thursday. All right. Take it easy.
yeah. Take care, guys.